Hi everybody, thanks for coming. My name's Bao and this is my co-founder Charles and we are c8apps. We're here to talk to you today about our fantasy sports platform and why we're the future of fantasy sports.
So who are we and where have we come from? We went to ANU in Canberra, which is basically the MIT of Australia, and we've been friends for 10 years, and not only that, we went into business together. We have built over 50 websites and apps for external clients, but more importantly, we've had a couple of startups together. Our first startup failed, and one of the big reasons or big lessons we learned from that failed startup was we have to build, ship, listen, and iterate, and this is where we are today.
So we wanted to focus on our passion, which was sports and technology. And we saw some trends happening over in the US where fantasy sports was just going crazy. So our play was to build this fantasy sports platform that allows us to create a mobile fantasy sports game for any sport in any country in 4 weeks. Basically, all the tech is server-side. All we need is player statistics, the nuances of a sport, and a design. Then we can ship out a new product.
So what did three nerds who love sport and lots of time on our hands do? We created games. We created 3 so far. Our first one was for a sport in Australia called AFL. It reached the #1 sports app in the App Store. It got engagement of 18%, which is double the engagement of Angry Birds, and we're doing a conversion rate of 6%. We then launched one for Rugby League and partnered with international publisher Bauer Media. And now we've just launched our soccer one this week, and it's blitzed our downloads already in alpha without any advertising.
So let me tell you a little bit about the game. So pretend that you're a coach and then you can pick players from history and mix them in with players right now. Then you can play against your friends or thousands of other users in 30-second instant gratification matches. So what happens is, like, if you start to lose that banter, you want to buy virtual products such as virtual footy boots or energy drinks. We charge you for that, and so we're generating an average revenue per user of $2.
So, where are we aiming next? Asia. In America, fantasy sports is a $5 billion industry. NFL is watched by 100 million people. In Asia, soccer is watched by 800 million people, and that's where we're heading our game next.
So we're seeing trends in fantasy sports. Traditionally, you had to pick your team during the week and then wait for the games to play out on the weekend. Then there was companies moving forward and making more daily style gameplay, and they were doing very well. For example, Nordius, they produced Top 11, the world's biggest fantasy sports game at the moment, generating about 11 million monthly active users. We want to take that the next step further, offer you that instant gratification, 30-second matches, and with a mobile-first strategy.
This is our last slide. So what are we asking for? We're looking to raise $1 million. Why? Well, we want to reach 2 million monthly active users by the World Cup next year. To do that, we need a UX guy, we need marketing, and we need to make our game faster. So we're going to go native and server-side improvements too.
So thank you, we're c8apps. In the time of this pitch, we probably had about 200 games played because we get a game played every second. Thank you.
Questions from the judges?
So I'm curious about what you learned in the game design process for yourselves, because it's certainly, you know, a very how do you say, sophisticated design element that can actually either work out as you had planned, and sometimes it just surprises you. So we'd love to hear a little bit more insight about your design process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a little bit about lessons learned, and maybe what surprised you.
So we have a gut feeling about where we want to take our games, but behind the scenes on our platform we have a whole heap of metrics that we're capturing, and so we're letting our data drive our decisions forward. Not only that, we're trying to get in touch with our users. We engage with our users on a daily basis, do bug fixes and support requests. But in addition to that, we know we're not true game designers. That's why we saw our weakness, and we're employing one of Australia's best sports game designers to help us in that regard.
Do you have a monetization strategy other than in-app purchases?
Not right now. It's not worth it, to be honest. Like, like for example, Candy Crush Saga, they stopped doing advertising in their game because they were earning enough money through in-app purchases to grow the business. In-app purchases is the way forward. Advertising, if it comes, we'll take it, but right now we're earning a lot more money from in-app purchases than we ever would doing banner ads. Have you ever clicked on a banner ad on a mobile? On any banner ad?
You're not talking to a gamer.
Yeah, no one does. Yeah.
I am a gamer, so can you tell me if you're going to make games outside of sports, or are you focusing entirely on sports?
Yeah, purely on sports at the moment. So we see, there's just this window at the moment that fantasy sports hasn't been disrupted in this way. So we have a big vision there, and we feel that we're the right team to do that.
Imagine like bringing Angry Birds or Words with Friends to fantasy sports.
Great, thanks very much, guys.